Russian cosmonauts were using this peptide for stress decades ago, and the data shows it outperformed benzos with zero addiction risk. Your psychiatrist has never mentioned it. Welcome back to the Real Bio Protocol, the channel where we break down the science of peptides, fitness, and health optimization that most people will never hear about. Today, we are diving into something that could completely change the way you think about anxiety treatment. We are going to cover exactly how it works, what the real science says, the results you can expect week by week, and exactly what you need to do to get the most out of it. Stay with us until the end because we are going to give you the full protocol and the exact stack that amplifies these effects. Let's get into it. ACT1, the setup here is the reality nobody wants to talk about. Anxiety is at all-time highs. Prescriptions for benzodiazepines have exploded. And what do doctors offer? Xanax, Klonopin, Ativan, medications that work fast but come with a devastating catch. Tolerance, dependence, and withdrawal symptoms that can last months or even years. You are not imagining it. The system is broken. You go to your doctor with crippling anxiety and they hand you a pill that hijacks your GABA receptors so aggressively that your brain literally forgets how to calm itself down naturally. Miss a dose and your nervous system revolts. Try to quit and you might end up worse than when you started. Meanwhile, there is a compound that has been studied for decades. It was developed by the Institute of Molecular Genetics in Russia. Cosmonauts used it to handle the psychological stress of space missions. Clinical trials showed it reduced anxiety as effectively as benzodiazepines, without the sedation, without the cognitive impairment, without the addiction potential. And most Western doctors have never even heard of it. ACT2, the science, the peptide is called Selank. It is a synthetic derivative of tuftine, a naturally occurring immunomodulatory peptide in your body. Russian researchers spent years optimizing it specifically for anxiolytic and nootropic effects. Here's what the research actually shows. Studies published in journals like Bulletin of Experimental Biology and Medicine found that Selank significantly reduced anxiety in patients with generalized anxiety disorder. Another study showed it enhanced cognitive function under stress without the mental fog that benzos cause. The comparison to benzodiazepines is striking. Both reduce anxiety. But Selank does not cause sedation. It does not impair memory. It does not create physical dependence. Subjects in clinical trials showed no withdrawal symptoms after stopping. The mechanism is completely different and that makes all the difference. ACT3, how it works, think of benzodiazepines like a sledgehammer to your nervous system. They flood your GABA receptors and force relaxation whether your brain likes it or not. Effective but brutal. Selank works more like a thermostat. It modulates the balance between GABA and glutamate, your brain's primary calming and excitatory neurotransmitters. It influences the expression of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which supports neuroplasticity. It affects serotonin and dopamine metabolism. It even has immunomodulatory effects that may explain why chronic stress and inflammation often go hand in hand. The result is anxiolytic effects that feel natural. You do not feel sedated or disconnected. You feel like yourself, just calmer, clearer, more resilient to stress. Your brain is not being forced into artificial relaxation. It is being supported to regulate itself properly. ACT4, the protocol here, is exactly what you need to know. Selank is typically administered as a nasal spray. Standard protocols use 200 to 400 micrograms per day, divided into 2 or 3 doses. Many users start at the lower end and assess tolerance before increasing. The stack that amplifies these effects pairs Selank with Cmax, another Russian peptide that enhances cognitive function through different pathways. Cmax at 200 to 600 micrograms daily combined with Selank creates a synergistic effect. Clearer thinking plus calmer nervous system. Quality matters enormously. Source from reputable peptide suppliers with third-party testing. Store properly according to manufacturer guidelines. This is not something to cheap out on. ACT5 week by week results. Week 1, most users notice subtle shifts, slightly less reactive to stressors. Better sleep quality. Nothing dramatic, but something is different. Week 2, the effects become more pronounced. Social anxiety decreases. Mental clarity improves. The constant background hum of worry starts to quiet. By week 4, users typically report significant improvements in baseline anxiety levels. Better focus, more emotional resilience. The effects feel stable and natural. Week 8 and beyond, many find they can reduce frequency of dosing while maintaining benefits. the brain seems to recalibrate toward healthier stress responses. Resolution: you now understand something most people never will. There are compounds backed by decades of research that address anxiety without the devastating trade-offs of conventional medications. The science exists. The protocols exist. The choice to explore them is yours. The science is out there and now you have it. That is why we are here. This is the Real Bio Protocol. If you enjoyed this upload, do not forget to like and subscribe. Subscribing is completely free. Share this with someone who needs it and tune in again for the next upload. See you then. If you enjoyed this upload, do not forget to like and subscribe. Subscribing is completely free. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Tune in again for the next upload. This has been the Real Bio Protocol.